And as you guys can see, I am not by myself. I'm joined by a gentleman over here, and I'm gonna allow him to introduce himself. So welcome so much, and please tell the people who you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Caroline.
Yes.
I am grateful for this opportunity to be at Power Radio.
Yes.
Yes, I'll introduce myself in a very simple way.
All right.
Yeah, my name is Collins Tebalia.
Okay.
Lele.
Tebalia.
Yes.
Tebalia is tumependa hiyo. My colleague Anne just saw your name somewhere on the poster and it's like, wow, Tebalia. Does it's where, because Collins tumezoea akikolom kwa wingi. Yeah, but Tebalia is such a unique name. Does it have a unique background? Ni ya wapi? Is it a Kenyan name? Labda ni sisi hatuko exposed.
You see, Tebalia is just a Bible name.
A Bible.
In 2 Chronicles 26 there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tebalia alikuwa nani?
There was a man called Tebalia. He was a gatekeeper in the temple.
Wow.
So I was writing books on the gatekeeping in the church.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. I feel like it was prophetic somehow. We become our names.
Yes.
Sindio?
Yes.
Which is why, I'm always talking about naming children things that you want them to become.
Yeah, it has a meaning.
Yeah.
Every name has a meaning.
I love that.
It has an impact.
Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, so just briefly, unaweza tuambia what you do for a living.
Okay, Tebalia, as you have heard.
Yes.
I'm a growth influencer.
A growth influencer.
Yeah, I influence growth in all areas of life.
All areas of life.
Yeah, this one I realized after failing in 10 businesses. That is when I came up with this idea.
10! So wait, so you're going to tell us more about growth influencing? Like in here, you're failing at 10 businesses. It's so funny because one of the things I was going to ask you, and I think we're going to start with that one. It's so funny because it's literally here on my list. I know there's no way of proving. But, so Jumesema, you failed at 10 businesses. So what is that thing that failure imekufunza? Kabisa imekufunza and you're like, I'm for sure better for this.
So failure is good.
Okay.
Because it pinpoints those things that you didn't know. After failing in those 10 businesses, I realized that life is about systems.
Yeah. Okay.
The systems are the discipline, the habits. So there are habits I used to do in business that made it fail.
Okay.
So after failing now, I now realize that we need to build proper systems in our lives, in our businesses, in our marriages, relationships, and it will work.
I love that. Failure is good. That is a word you would never hear anybody's teacher telling you in high school or in primary. Like failure, tunajua tu failure ni kitu kibaya, but what I've loved about what you've just said is that perspective is what matters. Because if you build on whatever it is that's broken, it becomes a very good stepping ground.
Yes.
Sindio?
Yeah.
I love that so much. 15-year-old Tebalia, ni nini hakuwa najua that you feel if a 15-year-old mwingine sahi, wengi, the ones who might be watching, the ones who are yet to come, if they knew, that would have really changed your life very early if you knew it at 15 years?
One thing I didn't know in 15 years before, there are two things that determines life. Okay. Yeah, if you look at the Bible, it says, you shall live according to your faith.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever you believe in, the vision that you have, you must have faith in that vision.
So you must persevere.
Yeah, you must have faith, even if the things are going negative. Yeah, if you say I'll buy a V8, don't worry, even if you don't eat.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have money for food.
Okay.
Don't ever lose faith.
I love that.
Because you shall live according to you.
So shikilia your ndoto.
Yeah, I remember when I was in class 6. 2006.
Wow.
I saw someone passing with a car called Toyota Crown Royal Saloon. And I said, one day I'll buy it.
Yes.
And I just kept the faith.
Okay.
10 years later, in 2016, I bought one.
Wow.
That's the power of faith.
I love that.
Yeah.
So faith is a driving force to
in life, you shall live according to your faith.
Okay. You shall live according to your faith.
Yeah, that's something I can say proudly.
Okay. Yeah. I love that. So what do I do to be a disciplined 21-year-old? Like, what actions should I put in place?
I think the first thing, you focus on the thing that you are doing.
Okay.
If you are studying, just study well.
Okay.
Yeah.
GPA ikuwe juu.
Yeah.
Okay.
You avoid relationship drama. Yeah.
Juu jasema avoid relationships, umesema avoid relationship drama.
The drama, yeah.
Okay, drama, that's valid. I like that.
Yeah. If you have relationships, keep it simple.
Okay.
Yeah, like friendship.
All right.
As a not too much romance.
Okay.
But keep it as friendships. Yeah. Don't cling to it so much. Don't keep it usipe much focus.
Okay. Yeah. It's not the priority.
That's not the priority.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the structure here is focus on one thing.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because I can attest as somebody who has properly been in campus. I spent a good number of my life in campus.
Yeah.
A good number of years. Mi niko na experience. Hata karibu nikuwe lecturer by default.
Yes.
Juu degree haikuwa inaisha. Labda mi ndio nilikuwa na shida. People major in relationships more than school in campus. Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, they give it a lot of focus instead of the studies.
Yeah.
And that is where they lose the way.
It's true. Yeah, you forget why you're there.
Yeah.
So which means that you're not wise, because a wise person puts their affairs in order. And in order
life is seasons.
Yeah. Okay.
Life is in seasons. Yeah.
Everything has its time.
Yeah, when you are in school, that is the season for school. Yeah, you have to give it 75%.
Okay.
The 3/4 rule.
So, and then everything should share. Mapenzi
the 25% is just for the relationship. Yeah.
So if your GPA is down there, you have no business being in a relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I hear that. Na mtu anasema yeye anakuanga na 100% everything. So
no, you can't.
You can't.
No man can focus on 3 things 100%.
Okay.
Or 2 things.
Okay.
Yeah.
You need to choose a master.
That's even the Bible says you either choose God or money or anything else.
Okay.
You cannot serve 2 masters in life. Yeah. There's only one master for every season.
Sawa. Mshaambiwa guys. Like, we're not hating on your relationships, but Meskia Tabalia is saying that we need to decide on what's the focus in that season of life.
Season.
Yeah.
The Bible says everything has a season.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
As I've said that I'm in the growth influence field, but you see, in the growth influence, I started with business growth influencing.
Okay.
But now I've gone to influence growth in the females, the males.
Okay. So gender related.
Yeah, gender related.
Okay.
And also spirituality.
Okay.
So what has made me so happy, like for the last year and this year, is that I've been able to do other books in the spiritual growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it has so much impact in the lives.
Well, welcome back to Shivazations with myself, Caroline Morote. This is a space that amplifies female voices and just shows us just a different aspect of what it means to be a woman. And we've just heard from Keithan, Sleki, and Miss Karun akituambia glow up. And sai tuko na Mr. Tabalia. He is a growth influencer, and he was just sharing with us about his dream car, letters he would write to 21-year-old and wasiwa campus venye mnafaa kuachana. He didn't say that in those words particularly, but yes, just speaking on seasons and focusing and keeping the main thing. And speaking of the main thing, so you are a growth influencer.
Yes.
What is that?
So growth influencing is it's a wide scope.
Okay.
Yeah, of development in life.
All right.
Like, I started growth influencing after realizing that everyone in this world has come for a purpose to grow. We are in the mission of growing.
Okay.
You have heard about evolution?
Yes.
You know evolution?
I know evolution.
Evolution means that you are growing from a certain stage to another stage.
Yes.
So the evolution that we have as people in this world is what we call spiritual growth.
Okay.
You might not see it with your own eyes, but your soul is growing every day.
Yeah.
So that's why growth is the purpose of life. That's what I can say. That's what I realized.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now that there's this significant realization, which is the truth, honestly, because when you look around, at mtoto, if you bring a child into this world and just leave them, they are going to have to grow.
Yeah.
Animals, plants,
everything grows.
It's to get from point A to point B, and point B has to be forward.
Yeah.
Because if you're growing backwards, it means that you're dying.
If you don't grow,
yes, you will stagnate.
Yeah, you will stagnate and you will feel like you're purposeless.
Yeah. I see why growth influencing is important. So now you're a growth influencer, and you've told us before this you're an author.
Yeah, this growth influencing comes from authoring so many books.
How many books?
Over 15 books.
What were we doing, Sisi? Si tunafanya nini in life?
Yeah, like you see, I did this book.
Okay.
There's another book which is religious.
Okay.
But this is the first book.
Okay.
This Grow Up.
Okay, so Grow Up.
Yeah.
So I see it's written number 1.
Yeah. There's Grow Up 1, 2, 3, 4.
And yeah, people need to grow up. That's a whole degree, 4 years.
Yeah, we are now in Grow Up 4.
Yes. And we're gonna continue growing, I'm sure.
Yeah,
because as
I'm
life
launching Grow Up 4 with the feminine woman.